Hello guys, it's Stack back here with another video. As you can see by this ranking, it was a much better week. There was some picks that went really well, and I just think my team started to get a bit of a flow. As you can see, I was probably ranked, I think I went 18 up. I was thinking about 42k at round 1, so slowly climbing up. There's still a bit of a gap between me and the leaders, but it's in the right direction, and that's what matters. Um, Unfortunately, though, from my video I made, I brought in Darcy Parish. I did do a late swap and I did bring someone else in that I was really confident in. And of course, as my team, as my team knows, I've brought in an injured player, and I can pretty much, and pretty much you guys can presume who I've brought in, and it was Darcy Cameron. When I saw Mason Cox was there, I got really excited. I was thinking, oh my god, it's his time. And to be fair, just before three-quarter time, he was on 89 points. Like, Darcy Cameron was on track for a 120, and it was a good pick. But, you can't predict in these. And anyone that says, this was always going to happen to Darcy Cameron, it's like, oh wow, someone could have warned me. But anyway, that's one of those picks that just got unlucky. And I think I'm going to start trading carefully on who I'm trading in. Like, he was a good pick in terms of points and all that, but these ruckmen, I swear to God, they're just going down like butter. Like, I know English and Wits are going good at the moment, but I think in the next 3 weeks, one of these ruckmen between Wits, Marshall, Darcy, English, one of them is just going to become cooked again. These rucks are always going down. Grundy, I don't know and I don't care. I'm not trading any rucks. The only way I'm going to be trading rucks for the rest of the season is if they're badly injured, not even out of form, because I feel like they just got fucked knees nowadays. So I'm happy to skip out on any ruckman for my game plan. They're just too injury prone for me, and yeah, especially for Gorn owners as well. But yeah, I'll get into the team and my plan. So quick debrief. Sam Doherty. Also, one thing I should also say: the Supercoach scoring system was pretty messed up. Like, people say Clayton was overscored. Nah, his 2 goals were influential in that win. And he had some good round down tackles. Quickly bring up the games where there were some issues. So we had this one here, this one here, and who was the other one that people thought were underscored? Marshall kind of had some clangers. I'll figure it out later. Oh, Bont. Nah, Bont had lots of clangers. So I guess the 2 big ones that everyone can agree with. Sam Doherty, 39 disposals, a goal, 10 marks. No, he didn't have any tackles and all that, but his Supercoach score was not warranted. And people say he was on 61% efficiency, 7 clangers, but he was still more than deserving of like a 90 or 100. He's freaking 40, 49 points from Dream Team to a Super Coach. It's freaking ridiculous. It's like sometimes he would just get a kick, and I know side to side kicks aren't really that loved in Super Coach, but he was getting like 0 points for a kick and mark and kick and mark and kick and mark. Like, he'll just do the side kick, and you're like, oh my god, he's not getting anything for his buck. So he's one of those ones where it was like he didn't deserve his super coach to be better than his dream team because he didn't have as big as the impact, but he did not deserve to be shafted that bad. Like, that's just a frustrating one. It's like the people who were doing the scoring up there, I don't know what was going through your head. It's like, don't know if you've taken some side bets or something, dabble markets on Sam Doherty going to 100, but either way, bit shafted there. And the other pick that got shafted was Sam Darcy, 52 hit outs, a goal, 2 behinds. Bloody hell. I had 20 disposals, only for 132. He had, I think it was 13 hit outs, 6 disposals, a tackle, and 2 marks in the third quarter, and they literally just, and he had 2 free kicks against him in that third quarter, and he went -5 for that third quarter. Like, you can't tell me 15 hit outs, what did I say before? Like 5 disposals, 2 marks, just gets and behind, just completely get overweighed just by 2 free kicks. Someone to score, I think it's just a bit of bullshit. Just some scaling or some points they messed up and they had to mess around with. But Darcy being under 150 there was criminal, so bit bitter about those 2 picks. Had to get a bit of a rant out, but yeah. Oh shit, just closed it. Yeah, so a bit bitter about those picks, but what can you do? So now over to champion data screwing over. We'll get on to the main one. So Sam Darcy, Sam Doherty, Nick Dacos, Gimby, Jones, McKenna, pretty solid. Constable getting dropped was good because then I can take Wilmot's score. And Wilmot, if he gets that halfback role, he was pretty decent in it. Like, he was on 12 points, got moved back to halfback, and had like 50 and a half. So let's hope he can try and keep that role. I think it's Rich that mainly can take it off him. Cohen was okay. I mean, Carlton got another win, so I presume they don't drop him. McKenna decent. Jones. I think if you're a Jones owner, you can be pretty happy. He has a negative break even now because he's finally got that one where he was injured out of his system, and he's got Richmond coming up. So if you can take some good marks, that'd be nice. I don't think I've any. I don't won't say anything about Dacos or Gimby. If you have them, they're good. And I've already shared my thing about Doherty, but this is the more exciting part of the ground, the midfield. And the midfield burnt a lot of people this week, and I am relieved that something has gone right for me, and it is Clayton Oliver. I was a bit back and forth. I was thinking of the Jack McRae and Josh Kelly one, and even then, those two actually aren't too bad. But going Clayton Oliver, and I've captained him every single week. I captained him week one. So I captained him here for a 113. I captained him here for a 135, and I captained him here for 156. So technically, since I haven't really swapped captains, I've been averaging 134 for my captain this year. Whereas I know some people captained Marshall this round, or some people would have captained an 80 or 70, but this is the reason I wanted Clayton Oliver. He is just a safe captain option, and I've just left it on him, and it's the main reason I'm really in this round. So I'm pretty happy to have him in my team. He's been a good win for me, and if you have a look at his fixture, who he's got West Coast, who don't really tag. That I don't think they're gonna do the tag anymore, and he's got Grundy and Devers and B Williams. And that Shuey's now injured and all that, so he's just gonna have a nice run through the midfield. Essendon, I think Essendon are hoping they can get Caldwell, or I don't know who they have as a tagger, but I know they have someone. I think it's Clark. I think they're gonna try and put a tagger on him, but Mills tagged him at half time and he still scored 50 points, so it was pretty good. I think they will tag him though because he was pretty dominant in that first half. Albeit these two picks though, if you don't have Clayton Oliver here, you're in trouble. Richmond and North, A, they don't tag, and B, the opposition midfields always score well against them. For example, let's see if I can get two scores up. So we'll go the one against Richmond and the one against North. Okay, so who we got here? You got the Dacos, you get 122, 117, 114, 109, 102. Just the clearance, they win clearances, but they're just not really big of a like middle team. They leak a lot of ball, they do a lot of chaos kicks, and midfielders often scrape those up and get a lot of ground ball gets. So midfielders against Richmond really score well, and it's just Richmond's style, and they won't tag or nothing. So if you're so for that game, it's going to be really good. And North Melbourne, you can see here, 139, 131. More played a bit closer up, 106, 91. And yeah, he's going to score well. And he's also scored 175 against Gold Coast. And then he's got Hawthorn as well, which Hawthorn will tag with Finn McGuinness. But I think his best part of his game he's got is his outside game. Like, Clayton Oliver's inside game was always really good, but it's been a bit iffy this year, but his outside game is drastically improved, and his goal kicking, he seems to be getting really close to goals, and he wants to try and kick him. He's kicked one and he's kicked two, so he's technically averaging a goal a game, so I'm loving him as a pick. He's obviously high tackles, and he's getting his contested work back. I saw him even on the Mills tag, he just went a bit more inside and got involved still, so love this pick, and he's got a big stretch of games coming up, so I don't think I'll even move the captaincy option off him. I'll gamble with the VC option every single week, but he's a pretty safe captain, so love him. Tom Green does what he does. It was a bit of a Carlton mids aren't usually that easy to score against. He's got Essendon coming up though, so yeah, let's hope he has a good run. Goulden, bit sloppy, but give him benefit of the doubt. All of Sydney were pretty sloppy, so hope he comes into it. But still like him, still love him as a pick. Setterfield, I brought him in this week. He's done okay. He's made a bit of cash. He's still scored an 82, which is nice. I didn't have to take any trash scores, but he came off with an injury near the end of the fourth quarter, and I was a little bit scared, but apparently it was just a dislocated finger, so they'll pop it back in and he'll be ready. He looks really good as their midfield, and he does add that almost that 1% slash big body in there, and I think if Essendon want to get going hard at it, like St Kilda just had all the answers last time, so I feel like they'll keep playing him in the midfield, crossing my fingers, but I like him as a pick. A Hopper, hopefully he comes back. He's got a big break even and we want him to make some cash. Ashcroft, he's a number one pick. We know what number one picks can do, so he'll keep making cash. Mackenzie's been also really impressive as well. As I was looking at the Hawthorn not long ago, he had 17. He was playing off like half forward, but he still played really, really well, and I'm pretty happy with that. He'll make a lot of cash. A lot of people have him though. What's he in? 60%. Still really good. Also another thing to get onto Hawthorn. If you're a Warple or a Newcomb owner, or I guess anyone, even Will Day who's on the rise, I don't like owning any of these Hawthorn mids at the moment because Sam Mitchell's job this year is to experiment, and that's what I said I was worried about last round, and it's happened again, and it's happened to Newcomb now. So they've cut Newcomb's CBAs and put Connor Nash in and Will Day. Will Day's looked pretty good. Nash is okay, but it's too risky for me to be picking any Hawthorn mids except for the rookie. Just they're doing too much chopping and changing at the moment. I know some people will contemplate in Will Day, but I don't know if I can bring myself to do it, especially now that he's risen up in price. Baker, wow, coming clutch for Hopper, love you for that, and he's gonna make some great cash. Davey, reliable rookie, and I think Chess is a spud, but all of Eagles are injured, so anyone that was hoping he's gonna play games, he will more than likely be playing games. And yeah, what I said about Darcy, I thought he got a little bit shafted, but he's got 132, bit of a bounce back, and then Marshall 78. Just this area in particular, it's just bleeding me points. I'm losing to English and Wits, and I don't want to be doing correction trades in my ruck line. Because anytime I have done correction trades with a ruck, not even just this year, but also last year, I think I brought English in round 6, and then he got concussed, and then I remember bringing Cripps in, and he done like that hammy in the first minute, also around round 5, so bit pessimistic on bringing some players in, especially ones that have had lots of injury history. So, and English and Wits are no exception. Wits has been pretty good the last 12 months, but English is just a walking just a walking violin and bobblehead. He's just waiting for a concussion or hamstring injury. Now, as a player, we never wish injuries upon him. You always want them to beat out their best. You want them to always, play well and do well, but as a previous English owner, and even watching him this week, he just goes for some pack marks, and you see him go down, and I'm like, oh my god, has he done it? He comes up and he looks groggy, and then he plays on, and you're like, okay, it's not today, but he's a really good intercept marker, and he will score well, and he gets his head under, and he gets a lot of ground ball gets, but he's like Zach Butters, you just put your hands on your head, and you're like, please don't get concussed. So I'm gonna leak points, but it's not my area I want to fix because I'm sick of doing trades and just bringing in injured people. Well, not that they're injured when I bring them in, but just getting injured people. So I need to start playing my trades a little bit wiser because I've been kept really well in the rankings just through my rookies, and Clayton hold a nice spot. But if I keep doing trades like this, where maybe throwing a little bit of caution to the wind for cash, it's just gonna be a bit of a shit year. Dunkley, solid as ever. Rosie, nice bounce back. Taranto, nice bounce back. Darcy Cameron, like I said, it was on track for a good game. Just went up, landed on his knee, and then, yeah, he's out for 6 to 8 weeks now. Although, on a topic of Tom Stewart, he said he was out for 3 to 4 weeks, and now he's come back and scored 167. I could have held him for a week. Bit of a stitch up on that one, but what can you do about it? If the medicos say 3 to 4 weeks, then you presume it's 3 to 4 weeks, not 1 week. Darcy's definitely looks like it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks, so I'm confident in trading him. I'll do that in a second. Zeeble, solid. The game was pretty much an outside spread game. It was kick to kick. It didn't look like there was much surge footy to intercept with it, and then sometimes the ball was just getting stuck back there, and that's Sicily also got pretty much shafted by the champion data or the Supercoach scorers. Just a really kick to kick game, and they just punished the defenders who play that sort of game. So pretty happy with Evil. Still made cash, and he's got Carlton, and knowing how Carlton want to play, they'll want to do kicks over to Harry Mackay and Kerno, and if he can take some grabs and hopefully they kick lots of behinds, Carlton, and he can take all those kick outs. Sheasel's been impressive. I think everyone owns him now, but if you don't own him, you're in deep trouble. He's already made 106k, and he's gonna make another. He's gonna make 150k or 170k in 2 weeks, and yeah, 2 weeks. So very impressive. Could probably stay in our forward lines all year. I know he's a rookie. If he might start dying off halfway through the year, but if he doesn't die off, he can beat F6. He's already beaten everyone else. So Sheasel has been very lovely and a nice little, very not even a rookie. Like I said, he can be top 6, but done really really well for us. Green, really wish this was Chandler right here, because not owning Chandler's gonna burn me, especially now that he's gonna have like West Coast and North and all that. So got to figure out what to do then. Kembaniti is playing well. I think he looks better. He makes Saints look pretty good, and he is young, so I presume they want to stick with him, and I think Rossline rates him, so yeah, he'll make us good cash as well. So, a little bit of a team review, and now to get onto my trade plans. Darcy Cameron has to go. He is not. His injury is going to be long term, and now it's just trying to figure out who to trade to. So I've got two strategies in mind. First of all, go for cash gen. So I'm looking at like Joel Amati, very high forward, has some ruck time, looks good, but that's a big risk. There's also Dan Ambrosio down here, or Bose, but I've lost a lot of interest in them. There's another one. It's K Chandler. I could bite the bullet and just trade him in. It's an option I don't really want to do, considering he's just he's just I've already missed the boat. That's what it is. He's 83k, and people could say, oh, the boat hasn't fully departed yet, but I'd find more interest in taking a bank on an Amamati because he hasn't had that price rise. He's got 72 break even. He scores a 60 and he makes 60k. So he's an interesting pick. I do like the look of it. So those are my two, cheap ones I'm thinking about, Amati or Chandler. In the midfields, I don't know who the top 8 midfield is, other than probably Clayton Oliver and Laird. But even right now with Laird, I just don't know what's up with him. He kicked a goal and he had 24 disposals, which is pretty low for him. I still think he can be a pretty decent pickup, but even then, with my money, I only want to do one trade this week, and I'm 12k short, so I might have to miss out on him. Neil, Took, Mills, no. They're nowhere bottomed out. All these guys are probably going to lose another 50k, so I'll wait for them at their absolute cheapest. Try and get cheapest chips. Cripps is one I am thinking of. My choices are either Cripps this week or Sicily. Now, so Darcy Cameron pick hasn't been a complete burn because I can pick up some primos that are discounted, and I could also get Lockie Neal. But what's Lockie Neal against Collingwood? Scowell 117. Not really. So for me, it's either between Cripps or Sicily. Oh, and I'll have a quick look at their stats. Get this. This is just the way to look at it, because you got to think how they score and what does it take for them to get a good score, And over here for Patrick Cripps, he had 41 disposals, 2 behinds, 20 contested possessions, 13 clearances, 7 clangers. Okay, and he scored 112 super coach. Ooh, that's a bit of a rough one. 41 disposals and only 112. Albeit, how much tackle? He only had 1 tackle, whereas he usually gets 6 and 6. So give him the benefit of the doubt. He hasn't kicked a goal yet, which is not like it for Cripps, and yeah, his tackles were characteristically low. I'll look at Cripps but first quickly have a look at Sicily. So Sicily had 28 disposals, 18 marks, 1 tackle, 8 contested possessions for 112. Big difference as well, but he wasn't as shafted as Sam Doherty. Especially considering, Sam Doherty had like an extra 12 disposals, only probably 2 more clangers. Contested possessions were pretty much the same. Like, I don't know what they were doing with the score in there. They'll pretty much went in their head. Sicily. Where is he? Yeah, here we go. So, see his score in here. He's at 22, 8, 21, 7, 18. A lot of his scoring can just come from intercept marking, but this doesn't look good. Like, he got basically 100 with 7 marks, but that's because in that game, remember, he took like 5 intercept marks, where a lot of these were just cheap marks. So he's a good scorer when he's doing his spoils and all his intercept marking, like you can see here. Reliable. But he doesn't have the ceiling of Patrick Cripps. So I think the trade I'm gonna do is gonna bring in, especially what's Cripps' break even? 135. He could probably do that. I think he could. And he's got North, Adelaide, St Kilda, West Coast Brisbane. He's got some nice matchups coming up. I think I can back Cripper in for a big game. It's Cripper or Steele. Don't know. I swapped my trade last week from Parish to thing, which is still okay because Darcy Harron made money and Parish lost money. But I think these are the trades I'm gonna roll. This one trade they're gonna roll with. Bank my little cash win I made, my 25k up and 8k cheaper for Cripps. But yeah, walk away with that. And this week for VCNC, I believe I'm gonna do. Might actually do Cripper and Clayton. Yeah, that looks nice. I got Dacos there, but I think Brisbane have quite a lot of fast half forwards that can keep up with him. Out very barely, but he'll still go 110. But I think the ceiling of a Cripps and a Clayton Oliver game, I'm feeling one of these guys will go 130 anyway, so happy with this. I think that's a trade I want to do, and yeah. If I do anything else, I'll quickly make an update, either a post or video, and I hope you guys all had a good week as well, and if you want to chuck in your comments what trades you're doing, I'll be more than happy to read them. Thank you, and have a lovely round, guys.